We are launching Circling Energy.
We are becoming YouTubers.
And we're becoming YouTubers. And this is our setup. This is what we're going to roll with. I'm using a Droid Flip 4 phone. What are you using?
I'm using a MacBook Pro.
Okay. All right. And you're on your standing desk. And I'm sitting in my chair. Okay. So now for Circling Energy, what's the plan? Where should we, because I know we were talking about some good stuff earlier. Where should we start with?
We can just jump into what we were talking about earlier, and I'd love to hear about what's going on with you in the flow of like circling energy. That clip I sent you, like, did you see the one about like feeling all the emotions? It's kind of like you're going to go on a journey of like you're going to, without telling the story, you're going to go through what's happening for you without sharing like details of what you feel. And as you share it, like your feelings are probably going to change as you go. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And we're just experimenting, right? We kind of are applying like things to new things. I lost it, darn it. It's kind of like going through the one that I wanted to, moment to moment, like feeling what you feel like. And then as you, like if you judge yourself, just how you feel as it's going. Damn, I had the best thing, but I can't find it. All right, coming back. Sorry. So yeah, so you're in the middle of like making life changes and decisions, and there's other humans involved. And without all the details, can you talk about it?
How can I talk about it without details?
Like, what emotions are you experiencing now? Like, even if you're looking at how you felt earlier today, you're looking at it through the lens of what's happening now.
Okay. So I mentioned to you when I was driving that I was going to meet with or see one of these girls that I'm seeing.
Right, but that's the story. So you're in a state right now, you've gone through an experience today. I don't know what happened since we talked. Okay. So if you can just tell me what's happening for you, like is your life feeling more whole and complete? Are you in the process still of making these changes? Is the energy like clean and flowing and everybody's happy right now? Or are you in
everything is good. I can't complain. Everything is good. But
that's a great general thing, but and then
but it's exhausting to spend time with so many different people.
So right now, where you're thinking about being exhausted with what's happening in your life, what does that feel like right now? This exhaustion?
Well, I'm regularly at peace unless something's bothering me. I feel good right now because I don't have any of this distraction around. So I feel good. Like everything's organized in my place, everything's clean, all my laundry's done. Like I feel good. Like everything's really, really good. I went to the, I've been going to the gym. So I feel good. And there seems to be like no problem. And I'm happy. But when I think about what I want out of one of these relationships, there's work to be done.
Okay, so let's get simple. What you want out of these relationships is like, what is the quality of the thing that you want? Like the thing, like, because what look at, like, we experience life through experiencing our sensations and our feelings. So when we're like, say, in love, we have a feeling of what that feels like, and we want that, or we feel safe, or we feel unsafe, or so, like,
for right
even in
now,
the wanting, what is that like without this girl and that story? And but what is it in you now? And can you feel, even just to back up, can you feel like the wanting itself? Like, what does wanting the relationship to work out feel like? What does the wanting itself feel like? Giving you a bunch of choices, so take your time.
yeah, no,
Give me
well,
an example.
I'm trying to apply what you're saying, but because I'm not in the room with them, I'm at peace. I feel fine. There
You
is
are
one
a human being that is able to think about the future and the past. So
was
you are in this very moment, you're able to see your future.
so then let me
Yeah.
talk about that then. So I'm right now good and everything's fine and I'm not being agitated or bothered by anybody because everybody has like their own intrinsic, behaviors. And there's, one of the girls is just too it's kind of exhausting. But the girl that I really like, the one that where there's love, she's so scared that she's diluting our love by dealing with.
Okay.
That's the future.
Okay.
Everything's
So
good, but
you let me try to break it. So you feel something with her, like you feel a closeness, yet you feel like on that side of it, she's not. There's not an opening for the closeness, or you don't like really into the sensation of the feeling. Is it like story of she's gonna do, like, see how far it is from what the feeling is, like the feeling of like, I have this connection with this person, and I can feel that at their edge of the connection, like they aren't gonna like connect the way I want to connect.
no, we are connecting the way
Mhm.
we want to connect, like in love. We both do. However, it's been off and on for a while. And because I have too much of a draw on her, she is going on some date with somebody else.
Okay, so that's not circling energy. That's fine. That's your story. But that's not circling. Like, so that is all information. My head got like, what? Like, I'm doing this practice with you, and then I hear those details, and I'm like, where
Let me
am
let me
I?
do it again.
What's
Let me do it
happening?
again. Let me do it again. Things are good and there's love there, but she's doing things to protect herself,
Okay.
which is
Slow down. So instead of she's doing things, describe to me how you feel with
oh,
her actions.
everything's good, but there's certain things that she's doing that undermines our love and our connection. And I don't feel good about that.
Do you feel like she's undermining your love and your connection?
Our love,
Your
ours, ours, not mine, not mine, because she's protecting herself because it's so overwhelming for her.
Okay, what if you said all that without using the word because?
Oh,
Like, we're just trying to get below reasoning.
okay. Um, that's funny. I got two girls texting me right now. They keep popping up. And one of them was her because she's looking at an apartment nearby here, just like 9 blocks away. And she said, text message just popped up saying she might take it. She was just here earlier. Um, it feels good with her. Everything's nice. It's nice. But because she's so scared.
Here's the because.
No, okay. Uh, everything's good, but she's scared.
How do you know that?
She told me.
Okay.
And she's doing things to protect herself,
Did she tell
which
you that
under,
too?
huh?
Did she tell you that part too? That she's doing things to protect herself?
Yes, she said that today too, quote unquote.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, how can you do
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just checking to make sure it's not like projection or made up like reasoning, but this is
no,
clear. This is clear communication. You're sharing with me some facts. Okay.
oh
Go
my
on.
God. Now that's a third girl just sent me a text message. That girl is the 21-year-old. She went to some poker game night. She wanted me to go, and I didn't want to go because I was going to see the other girl, which I really, really like.
So what's it like? So you're sharing this, and there's a lot of so what's that like to like have to hold all of this without telling me anything more about them or the stories? But you're like now it's a third person. So what is it like in you right now? Like Michael Godinez, like whoa, this thing it's live, it's happening, all
So,
this energy is coming at you at once. Like where's Michael in this? Because the
okay.
story isn't you.
Now I'm a very present, happy person in general. So I am here and I'm happy. Now, your question is, how do I feel right now? And I'm going to make it just right now. Right now, I find it to be a tad bit annoying and frustrating that I'm getting these messages while I'm on a Zoom call and it keeps popping up on there. Okay. So right now it's like, well, that's annoying. Now that's annoying right now, obviously, for anybody. If you're trying to do a call, like,
It's not. It's
oh,
not. It's not
okay.
true. And we could
All right,
have
okay,
create
all
a
right.
group of 16, but let's slow you down and let's just play. Let's play here. Let's like get into the practice of it right here because you're in a real state. Like
Okay.
can we stay there in that frustration?
Okay, maybe that's too strong of a word. I think it's funny and slightly annoying that I'm trying to talk about it, but then we are talking about me and what I'm dealing with. So it actually illustrates the fact perfectly. So in a way, life kind of unfolds for me the way it's supposed to. And I've been so fortunate that I can't really say like, oh, I wish that didn't happen. And I don't really complain. I'm like, okay, like there are times where like I would slow down by something, like, you miss a light, but then like it turned out better because I got the right parking spot. That stuff happens to me all the time. So now I'm just like, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. It is funny that we decided to do this call now, and all three of these people that are just texting me right now are all expecting an immediate response. And I'm not going to. So that is leaving a little bit of a slight agitation
Yeah.
because I'd like to respond to all of them right now.
Yeah.
Because
So
they're
then
expecting.
if you tried this in a more circling way, it would be like, I'm in a state and whatever, describing it because I'm supposed to do something right now that I don't want to do right now. It could really simplify it. Like I'm taking the story out of it
Okay.
because it'll
There's a
drop you into more something. I don't know.
there's a couple of things right now that people are expecting from me that I'm not going to fulfill on because I'm on a call with you, and that's
Yeah.
leaving a little bit of frustration.
Yeah.
And I hope they understand.
Like, what's that like? That feeling? Like, I'm trying to imagine it. I'm trying to imagine being you. Like, but
Well,
what's
it'd be similar because for guys, it's I'm a man. For okay, for me dealing
so
with
you didn't hear you didn't really understand so like
you
I'm
guys, give me a
like
second. For
sure,
you,
but let me share
no,
what I'm feeling with you. Like I'm searching for that part of me that when I have to do
can I
things.
give you an example for you? I want to just allow me to give you an example that what I think, because I've known you for 20 years, of what it would be like for you to feel what the way I'm feeling. There's no harm in me telling you something, right?
Well, try it, yeah.
Okay. It'd be like you're at work and two people are asking you to do something. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah, but see, you don't know me inside. When two people ask me to do something at work, I just kind of laugh, like whatever. But when I have real friends that like want to like me to show up somewhere and I physically can't, or like whatever, like there's this thing that's happening for me is like I'm getting asked to do a lot of things and I'll say yes, and then at the last minute I'll not show up, and it's that feeling of like, oh, I'm supposed to do something for you to keep our connection. Like there's something something
No,
at stake,
nope,
you know,
it's not even that. No, it's not that severe.
for
I'm telling
me.
you. No, yes, you, but hold on. I'm the one with the feeling.
I mean, I do
I'm the
background acting. I don't care how many people tell me what to do. It's like, whatever, dude. You know, I'm gonna go in that corner.
Okay, fine. Then great. Well, then you probably will at some point not work there very
But
long.
that's what circling energy is. We each have our own experience of even the same event. We're going to each experience it and feel it in different ways. And that's what's so great about being a human being. Like, you know, I want to taste what you're feeling, but that doesn't mean I'll ever really taste it.
Okay. But I'm
You're
the one that's,
you.
but hold on. But I'm the one that's feeling it, right?
No, we're both feeling it together because we're in oneness. So when I'm with you in presence, I'm tapping into those parts of my humanity. And we're actually tapping into the whole thing. And when we really do it, it's psychedelic and you feel connected like you're on psychedelics and you feel like you're with, it's trippy.
Okay.
It's trippy.
All right. All right. Well, then maybe we just won't be able to with this little scenario.
We are doing it right now.
All right.
And we
Well,
are,
then-
this is
then-
it. We are doing it. Exactly.
then-
This is the
then-
thing. Like I got to touch in myself this thing that's happening in me and share it in this way and be witnessed by you. That's like kind of healing because I'm carrying it with me, this like guilt of like not being able to do everything that everybody wants me to do the minute they want me to do it, you know, and like best friends texting me and I don't text them for 2 days. Like I have some shit that I'm carrying of like, I want to be able to do it. I don't know if this is true for you. Like, do you want to be able to answer them all and be here right now with me at the same time? Like, is there frustration? Like you want to be able to do it all?
I just can send each of them right now a text response and that'd be fine.
You can do whatever you want. You don't have to.
Yeah, but when I do that, then the camera thing disappears.
It's your choice. We
Well, can you still
cut.
see me if I, can you still see me if I just text
Right,
roll back?
let's find out. Well, then we'll know for the
All right.
future.
That's it. All right.
Pause break.
Are you still there?
Me? Yeah, I see you.
Yeah. You can
see
see me?
you.
Okay,
I
perfect.
see you.
Here's the first one saying, Yvonne, okay, she's like, what are you doing? They're jumping to the Zoom call with, I said, Yvonne, why? Because I want to. So that's it for this one, because I want to. I told you I need to focus on this business. So that's her thing. I've been telling her.
Mhm.
Now, then there's this one. Tour went well. I might take it. Just anxious about having a new roommate. Totally can understand that. For that reason, I wish I could have met her and read the energy of the place and inhabitant. The location is worth the risk. All right, cool. All right, and then that, oh yeah, and then this one here, unpacking and chilling, would be down to have a glass of vino, have 8 a.m. alarm. Oh, I'm on a Zoom call.
We can continue tomorrow though. If any of these
No,
women call you,
no,
I'm
no.
cool. I'm good with
Yvonne?
whatever.
Yvonne,
No, it's cool. Whatever. I'm just giving you, just so you know, I am so cool. I'm cool.
thank you, Yvonne, very much for being so cool. I already knew that you were cool because we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for a while. Okay, now how do I get my camera normal? Oh, here we go.
Understood. Yep.
And then
I
like
like
this.
to do
Okay,
one
cool.
eyeball, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, obviously I know I can
Kick ass.
I can move. So I responded to all three of them right now. But there's one that I really, really like. Oh, I see the little heart.
Mm-hmm. There's
you
somewhere
do
on
that?
here you click. I don't know how to do it on your phone, but there's something called reactions.
Someone named Party something mentioned me in something. Oh well. I like that little heart you put on there. That was
You can
cute.
do all. You can do all kind. They're not a lot. How many things can you do here? Oh, it looks like a lot.
You can just leave that heart on there because it's good energy.
It only
It's-
stays on for 30 seconds, and then
Oh, okay, that's fine. Leave it. That's fine. It's like right at the center of your body.
you have to click it. Oh, really? On my
Yeah.
screen, it's in the. Really?
On my side, you're like, it's right, it was like right there in the middle of you.
Well, on my screen, it was in the Grand Canyon corner.
Okay,
Trippy.
so where are we at?
So we just did a very basic kind of thing, a normal human thing. Like you had something to do, it was kind of like, oh, this energy's here. Oh, you know what? I can just solve it by sending these texts, and then I can move past that, which isn't as interesting as some of the other things we can dive into. But like that's kind of like, it's like witnessing yourself in that state of like, I'm in the state where I'm not in my chill, I'm good mode because I have these things coming off, popping into my screen. I'm still good. I know my ground is, I'm good, I'm happy, but there's now, right, all this energy coming. I can like ignore it, and then there's that energy to like kind of ignore it, right? And then they can describe that, and then there's this just doing what you didn't fix, like taking care of it. It's all, does that make any sense? Like,
yes, it's real.
Witnessing the energy beyond, but not, it's not about who's calling who or what the activity is, but it's witnessing the energy, tasting it, like good circlers can taste everybody else's energy. And some people will come in with anger or fear or something dark and be like, oh, I'm scared for you to feel my feelings. And it's like, no, I want to taste fear. Like when I can taste your fear, I get to be with my fear in a new way. That like, and then it's like it's like mindfulness is awareness, right? It's like every time I get to taste my humanity, my humanness, our emotional system in a new way, like it's like I develop more node points of the mindfulness, like more places that I can witness instead of being like jerked on the ride of an emotional roller coaster. That's how it works for me. I mean, everybody gets different things, but that's like what just happened for me. Like that was really healing for me to really out loud say like some of the things I've been stressing about. And you just had to reply to a few texts, but I'm like, I've been not responsive to people for a little while. But I do think I had an epiphany last night that I might have to like let go of some of my relationships to do this with you, or to become a YouTuber, because
That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah,
That's exactly where I'm at.
I can't go to all the parties and all the DJs and things, and
Yeah, exactly.
and
And I
I
know
also I can't work hard on these friendships that I am afraid when they see my inner weirdo at some point that they're going to reject me, or that they even talk to me like, why are you doing I imagine that they're saying this to me. I don't know that they would. They might be totally supportive, but there's like these parts of me and certain friends that like maybe they wouldn't be supportive, and maybe they're mad I flaked on them a few times, but maybe if I shared a link that we post, they wouldn't be support. Like that's how I'm looking at it, because it's been really weird. I've been just really shutting people out without clearly saying, hey, I need space, or I've been doing it very, very rudely because I didn't know I was doing it. I didn't like, it's been very unconscious. And so like circling energy takes us from unconscious to consciousness, right? So that sharing with you in that way is like making me become more conscious of what I'm doing with these weird, ignoring my dearly beloved lifelong friends. It's a lot of time and energy. I love everybody though,
I'm in the exact same. So it kind of hits home because one of these people I'm hanging out with, it's not very productive. It's just basically party fun, just watching shows, eating, cuddling, messing around, and I'm not getting anything done.
Yeah.
So I gotta wean away from that. So
I don't know if you can see this on your phone, but I sent it to you earlier. It's this
yes,
that Instagram. If you want a life that is great, you have to be willing to let go of a life that is good. And it's like so small and simple, but like hearing you talk about this fun time you're having with this person, like that sounds like a good time, like letting go of a good life.
That's on my Instagram story right now.
And when and to have a great life, like I'm using the term great as in like purpose and like a deep love, like the kind of life I want. The great things that I want aren't like things, so it's weird because I like a great life was like, I want to become a YouTuber, not to be a YouTuber is the end goal, not to be the thing, but because I I have this drive to share and communicate, and that's the thing. Like becoming a YouTuber is like accomplishing the goal. Like in the process of it is the thing. And in my past, I've always looked at it like I want to be the future, like I want to be the, have all the subscribers and the good channel, and look at it like the goal versus like the great life is doing the work, like creating the content in the YouTube term. That's just where it was hitting me because it sounds kind of cheesy. Dude, good, and then it's gonna be great.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. Yeah. And so a good life I have fun. I watch TV. I go to great places. I go to great locations. I've been on amazing beaches. I have amazing friends, but I have to let go of some of that good life to make space for something new, something
Like what we're working on.
Yeah.
That serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a good thing. It's like a cause. It's a purpose. Yeah. I'm with you 100%. And I was telling her that I can't get anything done if I'm just not doing anything. So I've already kind of been dealing with this feeling of lack of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's causing like this low level anxiety because I need to let go of the good so I can go after the great.
Yeah, the low level anxiety.
A low level, because I don't have anxiety, but when I start thinking about like I could be accomplishing so much more, then it's starting to affect my good times because my good times
Mm-hmm.
definitely do not match to what I'm capable of.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I need to focus on something I believe in, and this is great. So we're doing it, and we're having some headway.
Mm.
And it's interesting to hear that you are making the same move and decision, and we're both almost mirroring each other in that way. That's really interesting. Serendipitous, actually.
Yeah. I have
So,
some guilt with mine.
huh?
I have a little bit of guilt lingering with mine. I can feel a little touch of guilt
Why?
for not showing up for my friends and not even apologizing and just not even communicating. And
Oh,
it's like I don't know how to be myself. So it's like takes me so long to write a text to to excuse myself, and it's just like a lot of anxiety and insecurity. And I've been like holding on to friends. Like I think I use them like everything in my life to fill the hole, the emptiness. In my current past, like what's been changing, but that if enough people like me, then I'm okay. If somebody's the old love addict stuff, it even works with friends.
oh,
Like I need that to feel good and need them to to have like this connection. The community is healthy and for longevity and very important. And I'm not saying that I want to be alone or there's something wrong with wanting to have friends. Do you see the difference that I'm like, they're in me, I have an emptiness and I'm pulling them to me so that I can feel full. And then when I can't give and be there, like I'm so afraid of losing them because I need it so bad that I can't even communicate. I'm sorry. It's like weird.
Well, community is good.
Attachment.
And in the
Attachment.
studies, it does show that the people
Sure.
that live the longest, you're right, they're part of a community, and there's it's camaraderie and there's friendship, and that's very, very important. And to that, I'd like to say community is important, and it sounds like to me that you're growing out of this particular community.
Yeah. All right. And
And
I
if
have
you don't,
community in other ways.
and if you don't
too.
go, but if you don't fly off on your own, you're gonna end up in the same position in that community.
And beyond, even if I'm not, I'm going to be in the same mindset of I need to be what you want me to be. And that's partly why I've been blocked as a YouTuber for so long, because this has been my calling since I was 7 years old. Like, this is all I used to do talk shows when I was a kid all my life. Like, even when people were cool in high school, I'd go and hang out with some nerds and we would just make shows.
That's great.
But then I got so blocked. And then, I mean, the Hollywood thing, like I came to Hollywood to come be my comedian weirdo self. And you get, you know, I'm this weird, big, crazy. And then like, it's like, this is the way you do it. And it just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller until I totally disappeared. And I was just doing what I thought they wanted me to do, you know, to get the likes. And then I was not authentic and I was not good. So it's just been like that that's all part of it. Like letting go of these community is like letting go of like fitting in with any of it. Like, not that I'm at comedy clubs or anything anymore, but it's just like letting go of like, oh, did you like me? Was that good enough? Can you, you know?
Yes, I do know. I totally understand.
And it's really scary to take these steps. And we're like normal right now and talking, but like, and I'm excited to use the skills of circulating energy, but I also have been dancing and doing some weirdo shit that I'm going to film and upload. Is that okay with you?
Cool.
You would think Dr. Joy Cry might have some weird stuff on the website.
Good.
On the YouTube.
I look forward to seeing it.
I haven't danced in so long. I started dancing this week. I'm like, and I took all my furniture out of this room so I could, like, I have more. So that's part of what's going on. But I'm scared shitless. I'm scared I'm going to lose all my friends when they see any of my posts. And it's all this made up story in my head that they're talking to me in my head. None of it's real. None of it exists.
Yeah, Yvonne, I hear I hear the words in English. I understand what you're saying, right? I hear you, but it's an oxymoron, because you can't lose friends if they get to know you. That means they weren't friends. See the oxymoron?
Yeah.
So this is truly a made-up fear.
Yeah, for sure. It's so made up. It's I know that in real life, if a friend said some of these things that I think they say in my brain, it would probably hurt less. In reality, like, oh, really? That's your opinion? Great, good for you. But in my head, it's so bad.
Well, yeah, but I totally understand that, because I'm familiar with you, and like my sister and other people that I've dealt with, they tell these stories to themselves, and I totally get it. That's fine. It's in a lot of self-help books, and Eckhart Tolle talks about it, and you know, the internal dialogue. I totally get it. But right now we're doing it, and no one's getting in our way, and no one's going to dislike you because of what we're doing right now. So your fear right now is completely unvalidated.
That is totally true. But that's what's so interesting. And we get back to the theories of circling energy. Is sure, that's fine, but emotions are not anything to do with reality or validation.
Well, now though, no, check this out. Right now, are you in fear? Right now, as we're on this Zoom call recording.
There's some, yeah, definitely. There's like a tingling of it, like right here. There's like a little bit of residual fear of like, did I just say I'm gonna do dancing on video? Like, you know,
Well, that has nothing to do with right now. Okay, well, that could be.
that's an easier, tangible way to describe the fear. Like, yeah, I have fear that I have like professional circling people in my world that if they saw this might judge that I'm no good at this.
I remember, Yvonne, so sorry to cut you off. I remember you did this stuff before. I want to just stay present and stay on this call right now and make something of this.
Mhm.
So I know more about fears and tomorrow and yesterday and all that type of
Oh,
stuff.
but see, no. This is the part of circling energy that is important. And I noticed this when you started. It seems like you really have an affinity for positive emotions. And we can't be afraid of fear. I'm going to encourage you.
Exactly. We can.
I'm going to encourage you to stay with me right now and not run from it, because this is a human emotion on the spectrum of all humanity.
For you?
For all humans, we've all have experienced fear. There's no human on earth that has not experienced fear. And there's no human on earth that has not experienced fear that's not fake or false. So what we do in circling energy is we have a relationship with this stuff. It doesn't make it grow. It actually makes it shrink. But by pushing it away, it's like that quote of the How to Be Happy. Let me go to that one.
Can I explain what I meant?
Sure, please. Of course.
But I want your undivided attention.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay.
You said that you might lose some friends if they find out.
No. I said I have a fear of that. I don't actually believe in reality. Like, they're two different things, reality and what I feel and fear and circling energy. I'm talking about, I'm able to have space where I can talk about what happens inside and the little things that talk and all that stuff. Do I, Yvonne, the big, massive creature, believe that? No. Do I give a shit about that? No. I also have that capacity. But if I deny the reality here, it gets bigger. It stays unconscious, and then it comes out when I least expect it. So circling energy is being present to what is real.
Let me stop beating around the bush. I have a question for you.
Sure.
Is your fear going to delete our Zoom call here?
Not even close. Not even in the ballpark.
Right. So we're fine.
So let's just change his Corey to fear. If you want to be free from fear, first give yourself permission to feel fear. Resisting fear is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can suppress it temporarily, but it will exhaust you, and so on and so on. Feeling free of fear happens when you let go of the fight and allow the beach balls to float effortlessly through your experience. So you wanting to change the subject is a normal thing that people do in circles because they get uncomfortable. They don't want to be with that energy.
I'm comfortable. I'm fine. Yeah. I just want to continue so we get something, because for a second there, it sounds like you didn't want to.
This is the thing. Yeah, okay. This is the thing.
What are we doing now?
It's confusing because we're doing the thing and we're analyzing the thing. So maybe I could use a different example, but no, I'm still, there's residual fear, but I'm working through it like crazy. And the more I can say, oh, hello, fear. Oh yeah, that's what you're afraid of. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Okay, now I can proceed with far more energy than if I just didn't tell you about that, and just was like, oh, I've got it. I'm so confident. Fear, that was like 1999. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
So that's that's so exciting about the circling energy practice. It's so not normal. It's so against our social norms, our native, like, oh, I don't want you to feel pain. I don't want you to feel fear. I want to fix it. Let me show you how I can show you that your fear isn't real. Well, none of our emotions are real. None of them. They're all fleeting and they're chemicals. They're like, if you get into the science of what emotions are, like and are we even real? Like, we're made up of more space than matter. Like, you know what I mean? We can go forever in that direction, right?
Yeah.
People don't get that. And when they feel fear, they make it, that's their whole world. And they don't get to remember that that's just a temporary, like this is all happening. But when it's happening, it's so real. And so we don't want to ever deny that in that moment, you're feeling what you're feeling is real. And we're so lucky, like we're safe right here. There's not a monster. Nobody's like nobody's going to get hurt. Like you're not going to punch me through the screen, you know?
There's no war.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no
Right
fire.
now,
There's
like
no
the
gunfights.
sirens are good. The tsunamis, like we don't have a tsunami right now. Like, yeah. So anybody feels fear in a circle, it's always like not real, you know, like because right now there is just this. But when we can be with these things, as minute as like, oh, I have to text these people back, and just even you being able to describe the energy of what that feels like, that's like describing fear is another, it's, you know, deeper cut or like a more challenging thing. But we did it. Like that was huge because it's so hard to explain it. Like mid-circle, like somebody's in fear, like, and then somebody else is like, let me solve it. You don't need, like, oh wait, we're not here to solve it. And then some people will leave and be like, I can't, it's too much. And it's like, that's why I'm saying this is a journey that's sometimes you need like some balls. I don't know. Is that the right term? Gotta like be willing, you know? If you want everything to be fluffy and I feel love in my heart when I'm with you, and the universe
Well,
sends
I'm one that
magic.
voices his opinion and his opinions. People, I upset people all the time. Like Tupac says, the more real you are, the less friends you have. I upset people all the time. I'm very real. I get in trouble for it.
Right. And in the circling energy, when somebody else gets upset in the circle, the focus can shift to like, what's the upset like, you know? And I've been in circles where people are like, I want to break things. Like they describe how they feel, you know, like, and it can sound scary. Then that can scare someone else. Like, I want to break things. I want to punch walls. I mean, like, hopefully no one's speaking about taking lives because that's too much. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, the more you describe it, how much now you go into the world and interact with that person, you are much less likely to actually break anything because you've already worked out the energy. And we're witnessed by other humans. Like it's not just talking to yourself. It's not the same. Like, I want to break things. That's probably going to engage your rage and make you worse. But when you say it and are witnessed and people are looking at you like, oh, well, that I feel scared hearing that, or like, you know what I mean? Just having like an interaction. I've witnessed people like heal some stuff. It's been wild. It's been a wild ride. And I love that you care so much about what we're doing, that you wanted to make sure and stop me and make sure that we were like, you're confident enough to like do this with me, right? Like, what you're not just like, is this your like, I can't do it yet, you know?
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm courageous.
Courageous, that's the word, not
Yeah,
balls.
I'm courageous.
Breakfast of me to say balls.
But because I'm too confident, people like to say arrogant or narcissist. People try to do that. It's so funny. So it's really annoying.
I think I have arrogant parts that I'm pretty out of contact with. And I was in a circle yesterday and someone said they were enjoying how arrogant they felt. And then they said they
I don't
thought
know. I'd have to see, because arrogant almost, if you look at the definition and the feeling, it's almost like superiority.
Mhm.
And that's
I think there's something to like touching like it's a bad thing. And so we're not supposed to enjoy it. But sometimes in truth, it's like, oh, I do sometimes feel good when I think I'm better than other people. But it's a temporary emotion. It's not real, because when I know that like I feel a lot better when I don't think I'm better than other people. But it's like that little part of the dark shadow that's like enjoys it.
I notice that people do that in general, and I don't like it because I think that's evil and it shows contempt and it also shows superiority.
So that's a lot of judgment, and that's a lot
No,
of,
well,
so
hold on.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't know exactly what.
Can I have like a couple sentences? Okay. So I see that often where people are arrogant because the word does exist in the dictionary and it does explain what it is. And part of the feeling to be arrogant is there's a superiority level to it. Okay. I see how people are like that. Some people are just generally like that because they feel that they're better than other people. We all worked at a company or had to deal with people that are like that. Now, me, I'm not going to talk about men because, you know, that's all about generalizations, all that type of stuff. Me, I'm very relative. If someone wants to compete with me and they start doing the competing thing, and then I want to take up the competition, then I will feel arrogant because I was superior because they wanted to compete and I won. So there's times where I allow myself to be arrogant. But what I usually do when you go into situations, you have to be courageous. You can be outspoken. You have to have the guts to stand up for yourself. And cool. So I do that. Some people, because it might grab the attention, these are people that have called me arrogant. I've noticed that I can break it down that I was not arrogant what I was doing. You know, you can say, hey, look, the toast is burned, or the silverware is dirty. Can I have new silverware? Oh, really? You're so arrogant. Really? Because I want new silverware? I'm arrogant. Do you know what I mean? So people project their stuff on them. So I understand what you're saying about the people you're dealing with, where the person said they're arrogant. I have to see that for myself because
This is
actually
not what
you
I
don't
said.
want to be
That
arrogant.
person didn't say they were arrogant. They said
They
they could feel how they
feel
were enjoying the sensation of arrogance. They're not describing who they are as a person the way you are
they
describing
were
these
feeling
other
this.
people.
They were feeling this. They were enjoying the sensation of being arrogant.
Feeling arrogant. We were in a circle where somebody named that they felt like they were the smartest person, and then I said, I think I'm the smartest person. And then she was like, I'm really enjoying my feeling of arrogance. And then she later said she felt like she was the sexiest person. But we were just exploring these parts.
Okay. So that was exactly what I was saying. So that's arrogance backed by superiority. And that's precisely what I said and what I started off with. This whole conversation is about that fact. And you just nailed it on the head, exactly what I was saying. But you didn't realize that that's what I was saying. You get it?
I hear from you is a lot of thinking you know what's better for other people, thinking you know that you can apply like the terms to everybody equally. And
No,
it's
no.
you feel
No.
arrogant to me, but I like it. I don't mind arrogance. I don't have a problem with arrogance. I think you need a level of arrogance and confidence and superiority sometimes to communicate that, hey, I have something to share you might not know. It doesn't, you know,
I'm gonna get to respond, right?
like, wait, one more thing. Do you want a surgeon that's not arrogant? Or do you want an asshole cocky surgeon who knows what he's doing and knows it and owns it?
I'd rather have a cocky surgeon. See, that's where I'm at. I'm not arrogant because I don't feel like I'm like what that girl said that she feels she's smarter or prettier. That is arrogance because it's based on superiority.
I think that you don't understand the context of when you speak in a circle, what you're doing. That you
No,
don't,
we're not.
you're not
circling.
describing. I was
circling. I'm not circling right now.
But I was circling with the people I'm telling you about, that we were in a circle, touching parts of ourselves that we don't normally get to be with. And so
then what happens with
I
what happens
started saying to a group of people, well, I think
with,
I'm the smartest one in the room. It was
okay,
weird.
I have a question. What happens if someone uses a word and they really don't know the definition?
Nobody knows the definitions. We don't do definitions in circling. We do what we
I know
feel.
you don't. I'm saying when someone says a word.
Sometimes they'll type it in the chat, the dictionary definition. And then sometimes somebody else will find another definition, number 6, and type that in the chat. And then we talk about how we all have different definitions for words. And then we get back to circling.
Perfect. Then that's pretty much what I was just saying. The person that said that they're arrogant, they're not really arrogant unless there's a superiority level to it.
You're sharing with me your definition of arrogance, correct?
Yes.
In the
exactly.
example. Okay.
Yes.
And you have I feel like you have a very strong attachment to this definition, and you believe your definition is the one and only correct one, isn't it?
No, it's the one that applied to the scenario. And then like 10 minutes later, you proved me right.
In my scenario, you're giving me the example of being with somebody who has a state of thinking they know you think the way you see it is right. And so to me, that's a little bit,
No,
like,
mine's relative. Mine was relative to what the story that you told me. You told me that you were in a circle and someone said that they liked the feeling of arrogance.
that they, in that moment, noticed that they didn't hate themselves for being arrogant. They kind of liked it.
Okay, cool, perfect. Now I know that's what happened to you. I know that you were there. I know you heard them say that and they said that to you and it went into your ear. Okay, we're on the same page, okay, right? Then I thought to myself, if that person had a level of superiority, then I can see where that was true arrogance and they were using the word properly. So then I was digging to find out if that was true. And we
Okay, when
went
you
around
say
some
use the
circles.
word properly,
Well,
to me, that sounds very arrogant.
is that wall white?
It depends on what realm we're going to be in. Are we going to be in a metaphysical realm? Or are we going to be
I
in
disagree. I want to. How about this? I want to agree with you on anything. Tell me
what
something.
lens?
Well, no,
What lens do you want to look at it through?
You got it. I want to. This is what I want. I want to agree with you on anything on our earth right now in our existence. Just anything.
We're on a Zoom call. We're on a Zoom
Huh?
call and I'm circling. We're on a Zoom call and I'm circling.
I agree that we're on a Zoom call and we're partly zooming. I'm sorry, partly circling.
You're defining words and I'm explaining to you that that's not circling. And as you define it and said that they didn't use the word properly or something like that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, there's a.
Well, it doesn't matter what you're saying. This is circling. When what I hear you and what's hitting me is this energy of like, Michael really knows something right now.
That sounded a little patronizing because before you were saying that I was.
I'm trying my
focusing on
best to
depth.
find the words without doing the thing. Like I'm trying my best right now to find the arrogance in me and to like be with it without acting it out. Like I'm trying
You
to
don't
like,
have- you
I'm
don't have
looking at
any-
you as not understanding something about circling and I'm trying to not be arrogant about it because I don't like that. I don't know. I'm learning too, you know?
Okay. Well, what I can tell you, which is undeniable and no one can stop it, is I can tell you what I feel and how I'm interpreting it. And now you can't stop. I'm interpreting that you are not arrogant and you're not coming across arrogant. So you have to accept that.
Right.
That I
And
feel
if we
that
were in
way.
a circle of 20 people, I guarantee you somebody would tell me I was coming off arrogant. I've done
And
enough
that's their
circles to
trick.
know.
And I'll tell you
And that's
that
why
right
it's
now,
so
that would be
life
their trigger.
changing because we hit
And that's
people
their
differently.
and that's their trigger. Because they probably have an insecurity. Because you're not coming across arrogant.
Okay.
You're not. Now, my point earlier was not about the only definition of arrogance or the only foundation of arrogance. What I was saying is that I had a feeling, I wonder if they were really arrogant or not. So I asked questions to analyze, to find out whether they were really being arrogant or not. And when you told me that she felt that she's smarter than you,
No,
then
no,
I know that she was.
she didn't say that. I said that I think I'm smarter than everybody else.
And she said, she didn't
She
say
just
that?
said we all just share moment to moment. She just said, I'm noticing that I'm enjoying the feeling of arrogance. She didn't say anything arrogant at that point.
Do you know why she was feeling the arrogance?
Because
That's
other
where I'm
people
very-
were saying arrogant things. I was one of them who said to a group of 12 people, I'm the smartest one here. I believe I'm the smartest one here. And I was the second person to say that. And I was
I
like,
have a
oh,
question.
I'm
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm psychologically very entertained by human behavior and stuff, and especially people trying to hide their stuff when I can actually see it.
Mhm.
I wonder why she felt that she was arrogant. That's what I'm trying. That
Well,
is
that
my
would be
point.
a great question to ask in a circle. Like, I'm so curious about that. That would be awesome. But my point was,
No, I
she
want to know
wasn't
that. No,
defining her in circling. She wasn't defining herself as an arrogant human being.
I
When I'm in fear,
understand.
I'm not defining myself as a fearful human being.
In case you're trying to explain that to me, I understand.
Yeah.
It-
So she was just being with arrogance. And in that moment, like a lot of times I'm with my arrogance, but I'm like, ew, I don't like it. I don't like that I have this.
My question still stands. I'm very curious on why she felt arrogant at that point. Do you happen to know?
Because we were in a state of a group of oneness, touching into the feelings of arrogance. Somebody was unhappy in the circle. He didn't think it was deep enough. And that was his, like, the circle's not good enough for me.
I'm asking about her. You said that
Because all this was happening, that's what came up in her. Because of what was happening in the circle. That's what came up in her.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So let me give you a hypothesis, and you just tell me how far off it is. Because what I'm getting from you is that other people are having trouble in the circle.
No one had trouble.
No? No one having trouble?
We were all circling. Trouble.
Everybody's circling.
Trouble in a circle. You get to be with the feeling.
Okay. Some people, how about this then? Some people were having feelings that are not preferred.
Nope. See,
No?
that's
Okay.
key. Let's stay right here. This is the hugest thing right now tonight with you is the sense that you have these preferences for positive and negative emotions.
I was just trying to figure her out.
Well,
So
what do you mean preferred? What do you mean not preferred? What do you mean by that?
Someone's just, because one person like, oh, I have these fears that there's going to be an earthquake right now, and I live in California, and I just can't shake this fear, and that doesn't help. Or I have this fear that there's going to be a mass shooting because I'm at a school right now.
We don't do stories, so it doesn't matter. You just say I have fear.
Well, then I still
experiencing my fear, and a curious circle will be like, "What's your fear like?" Because I have mine, but what is yours like? And some people are like, I don't want to be with fear, and then they get to be with their not wanting to be with fear, and then it just flows.
Can I tell you how I feel right now?
Yes.
I feel very frustrated because I have a very specific question and I want an answer, and you're not giving it to me.
I'll try again. Try the specific question. And
there was a person that said, not that they're this type of person, but at the moment they felt the feeling.
Yeah.
The feeling that they had was arrogance.
Yeah.
Using all your powers of intuition and perception, do you have any indication of any kind of what made her feel arrogant at that moment?
My answer is this. She is a human being capable of the range of emotions. And that's the one she was touching with and having a new relationship in the moment.
Do you know why she was touching with that, from that feeling?
Every circle has a different context and a different flavor. And that's just the flavor and direction that circle was going.
And I wasn't there, you were. So was there any, if everybody's in a circle and there's an earthquake, right? And then everybody's feeling fear because there was an earthquake.
Then we're not circling anymore. If there's an earthquake, we're going to stop circling and we're going to deal with shit. Let's try something that's a little bit more realistic, because that would stop a circle. Like, we need to deal with that.
Okay. What happened in the circle that the whole circle went into arrogance? I'm trying to figure out where the arrogance came from. I'm not feeling any arrogance right now. So it's like,
I want to know why it's what is in you that is you fixated on it. You seem confused. Like, all emotions.
Not confused. I want to understand.
Every single human emotion can come up in a circle, including arrogance, including narcissism, including feeling better than other people. It's when we're with it and witness it that it transforms.
So then you just believed her.
I know her from circling a lot, so I trust that she was telling her truth in that moment. Doesn't matter to me.
You don't have, okay.
Didn't affect me at all. It kind of made me laugh.
Then I'm gonna change it to something else now, in case that might be a trigger. Because the way you made me feel right there was as if I'm like holding on too tight to it, and it's not circling or something like that.
This is another thing. I made you feel.
Yeah. We were kind of putting words in my mouth, trying to say this way I feel, but I was using that example. So I'm just going to change the example.
Okay.
And undermine.
Great. Change the
example. By you thinking that it's about me saying that why would you feel arrogance? Arrogance is not circling. And you're saying now you can feel anything. So now I want you to give me an example of anyone feeling anything.
Name it. Anger.
Okay.
Rage.
This is what I want to know. Has there been anybody in a circle that has said, I feel A, okay? And then you're able to think and feel and resonate and say, oh, I know why they feel A, or I feel the A too. Are you, or do you just, are you just listening to people and they're just saying they might as well be talking another language and there's like, you have no
they're
connection?
talking, they're all talking the human language. So they say, I feel A,
Yeah,
and I check, how does it feel hearing them say, I feel A? And I go, oh, like when you were talking earlier about having those texts and having to do this, I went in and checked, what does it feel like when I have all these things I have to do and I'm in the middle of something else? Or like I went in and checked, what does that feel like?
okay. So they give you a feeling and then you checked within yourself for the same feeling. And
If
then join them on
if I
that
want
ride.
to say it again.
And then you join them on that ride.
Yeah, sometimes I have the opposite feeling. Sometimes people will be talking about something and I'll say I'm on the opposite spectrum and I'm gonna bring it. And in the beginning,
Okay.
I didn't bring the opposite. Sometimes you in the initial cultural customs of our brains, like when everybody's flowing in this one direction on a certain theme, maybe it's like love or something, and I'm like, I hate everybody here, you know, and I don't say it because I want to fit in. But if I'm circling, I'm gonna go, hey, you guys, I hear you all talking about love, and this is really edgy for me to bring, but I don't feel any love right now. I actually,
Perfect.
I'm having an
Perfect.
experience of not liking anybody, you know, and it sucks. And I want to like you all. And then I feel the feedback of that. And if that's a ride, but it's only if it's true in the moment. Like I would never make that up.
Okay, cool. Because that answered kind of my thing too. And now I'm going to use something that I did earlier as an example, but that's good because you're taking the present moment and you notice that for whatever reason, you're picking up that there wasn't any love there, and then you went and said it.
Well, I was in my own stuff. I'm angry at my boyfriend. I just might not be able to feel it right now. Like, and I have we all come in with our own shit, you know? And it
Okay.
filters through our own shit and we're with what we can be with. Some people are numb and frozen. And I've had a beautiful circle with somebody who could barely communicate and feel anything. And I got
Okay.
to touch my numb walls that I never touch. I'm like, oh, there's numbness in me. Who knew?
That's funny. Okay. All right. Where do we go now?
Where do you want to go?
I want to edit something and put it on the website.
Okay.
So, what are we going to do?
Do you
What
want to
do-
edit some of this? What do you want to do?
tasks? We talked about getting some action items. And one action item I just remembered was like, not the 10 commandments, but was like our expressions that kind of define. And actually, I wish I would have wrote it down because
The
when I was driving,
fundamentals of the, is that what you're talking about?
yes. So that's one task.
Mhm.
But before we move on to that, let's finish up with using me as an example for circling
Okay.
with the present moment that I'm in.
Yeah.
Regarding the nuisance or I guess I'm just changing gears actually. I'm just changing gears just like you are, which was interesting and was almost like relieving to hear that you're going to do the same sacrifice.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And made it serendipitous actually.
Mm.
I thought that was really interesting.
And you and I both have had such good lives and had such,
Yeah.
you know, mine's different
Thank
than
you.
yours, but you know, like neither of us can really complain. I mean, I've had stress of my head, my own dumb stress, like, you know, brought it wherever I went, you know, like, oh, I'm still me in Thailand. Oh, I'm still me, you know, here, you
Yeah.
know, oh, this infinity pool, I'm still me. Oh, but now I'm having this new life of like being more okay with me. And I'm like, I don't need to go do all that stuff.
Right.
It's
Yeah, that's good. I'm so glad because that's a huge that's going to give you so much more cycles of energy, of thought, to be able to focus on something. Because I know a lot of people like that. They're like, I have to travel, I have to see this, I have to own that, I have to buy that, I have to have this purse, and I have to, it's like so exhausting. I'm like, okay, this person's shot for a couple of years because they're on this materialistic path that's not going to get them anywhere, versus focusing
Yeah.
on some sort of career or build something. And so I see that all the time. I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
And sad.
Especially here. I mean, I just had the most magical day. Like I hiked this trail, like I was on another planet or another country. I mean, it was so beautiful. It was just 25 miles away. I've never been there. That's all the travel I need once in a while.
Yeah, right. In LA, we have everything.
Good. I'm so good.
Yeah, it's only the people with FOMO. Because you go to another country, it's like, okay, this is a street with street lights, and it's a building, and then you sit at a table, and you're like, well, this table's kind of dirty.
Food's different.
Or like, oh, wait a second, I just paid $100, and I can get this in my neighborhood here in Santa Monica for like $20, and I just paid $100 here because I'm now in France at this stupid restaurant. Like, and it's like the same tablecloth, and like, you know. And then I look at this
And the
girl who's
most meaningful of all the travels is the human relationships, the people you're with. That's what really matters, right?
Yeah, it's true. But Eckhart Tolle, in his book, The Power of Now, I thought it was great when he said the thing about traveling, and he did talk a little bit about the genders, because there is a difference. I mostly see these women are all about travel, and like on the dating sites and stuff, they're like, oh, I want to travel. I mean, guys are not saying like, I want to travel. They just travel.
That's true.
Right.
There's some truth to that we name what we want. And
but in Eckhart Tolle, in the book, it clearly says like a lot of people these people that have to travel or they want to travel and stuff, is because when you go there, you're in a new place, it forces you to be present. Because most people are not present. So when you put yourself in some unknown place, you're like also like, oh, I feel so alive. Yeah, because no one knows you and your bad deeds. And then you don't recognize anything, so you're forced to be present, which is what sports do, which is what exercising does. You can't play tennis and not be present, because you're going to miss the ball and it's not going to aim it right. Which is why that's why he talks about that in the book too. But I think it's very funny when I see these people that have to travel, and then it feels so good when they're traveling. I know that they're running from something. So it's great that you said this, and that you're over that ego and that materialistic stuff, because that means you're actually ready for business now. You're actually ready to focus and get this stuff done. Well, anyway, here we are.
100%.
Yeah. So we finished up with my circling guinea pig session.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
good.
anyway, I know I've got to trim some of the fat and focus on business. So I've been inefficient with my time, which is because I'm having too much of a good time for too long, and it's causing this little underlining anxiety, because I'm not fulfilling my potential and I'm not getting things done. All I'm doing is having fun. So.
Yeah, sounds like the last 20 years of my life too. But I gave up smoking substances, so 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm still smoking the competition.
Yeah, good. I'm giving up something that's really fun and that I really like, but I don't pick up the phone. I don't want to Zoom when my eyes look like.
That was beautiful.
And this is so much more important than staying high.
Well, if we're done with my guinea pig session where we use me as a circle, there's nothing else that we completed with my circle?
Yeah, it was great. I feel like levels of like you got it and like downloaded it and you're like, yeah, like it's a trippy thing. It's not like anything else, right? You're like, just that thing with it, like, why was she arrogant? Well, who cares why she's arrogant? That's not circling. Like it's like so cool to like,
Oh yeah, that wasn't circling. I was trying to be analytical and the psychology from the outside. I'm wondering if you picked up on anything on why she did that. And then you said that they just feel something and then you have whatever feeling you have.
mhm,
And you just share the moment with your
yeah.
own feeling.
It's like taking out the why and taking out the because. It just takes us out of the munching of the data, of data, of the interacting of humans, but the munching of the data. Why? Because this is the label, this is the thing, and getting like just more whatever you call it. And when you do that, whatever it is, if it's connected to your heart, there's something weird and magical. Like when you get out of like, you take the time to do that, and I stopped you and you're saying she's this because and that because, but when you do that, there's some strange energy, at least in my experience, it's happened, and why I love it so much and why I was like blown away when you wanted to just focus on that. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, how do you see that? How did you see that in advance? Like you know, like,
Me?
yeah,
See what?
the circling energy, like to focus on the circling energy thing. That's like,
Oh, that's a very good
that's
question.
you seeing that in advance, like not even knowing all the details of it.
Oh, why I was able to pick it up so quick?
Yeah, and like, and
The concept and the concept and
value
idea
it.
to go with it before I even knew entirely in English
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
I love this part.
Pretty
So,
impressive.
so, so I'd love to talk about this. And by the way, I already feel the uncomfortable feeling of being prosecuted because people who don't understand and do not have intuition like to prosecute me and like to call me arrogant. But there's a perfect example of you even saying to me, right? You're saying it to me, Michael, how did you pick it up before I even really explained it? I barely even said anything, but yeah, you also like got it. And on top of that, we're able to name the business, figured out what we need to do, renamed your thing, and people love it, including your psychologist says who loves the new name. I was able to piece up everything because my intuition is that strong. And that's why I have to align myself with people that are not haters, they're not jealous, they're not competitive. I don't mind competition because I'm all for competition, but I can't find sore losers. It's difficult it's difficult to work with sore losers. It's uh what's the other side of sore loser? It's like a fair loser or a good loser, I guess. A good loser,
Gracious.
gracious loser, or like, but most people are sore losers. So then it turns into like anger and shit like that. So anyway, I love that you asked that because that's also why, because I have those type of skills you can't get taught that. There's nowhere to that's why I love the book Malcolm Gladwell. Uh, he wrote Blink because it's
Mm.
all about first impressions and intuition.
I used to have that book, but I never read it.
Oh, it's a very good book. But the point though is that subconsciously you're just like pick up on that. On that one, it does talk about where you look at something and you feel something, but there's also intuition where like messages just come to me and I just feel things and I just know the path right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, and the
Right?
cool thing, I had read an article once that Jordan read from the circle from his Relateful Company about circling being a way to hone intuition and get better at it. Like it's like a real
Yes.
time practice of that.
I love all this stuff. And sometimes it's so annoying. I'm like, Mike, do I really have to go to school to get a doctorate? That way people can then listen to the things I already have to say. I'm so annoyed. Sometimes I'm so tempted to like just go to school just to get the degree so I can continue on the path of where I'm already at, talking about the things I've already said.
I
That's
was actually thinking the same
so
thing
annoying. It's
today.
so
I was
annoying.
thinking the same thing today. Like, oh, can I just get an MD so I can just
It's
make a
so
doctor
annoying. No,
thing?
it's really so annoying. But check this out. But look, you asked me just a second ago, and you know, because you know, when we talked on the phone, I didn't even heard of this. I had no idea what you're working on, and I was able to just package everything together in one meeting and understand it. Like it is really unusual, and people get pissed because they don't understand it. So then they start bashing me. They start to try to call me names, and then they
Wait,
start
wait, who's
talk.
not understanding what? Circling energy? Or are you being more general?
No, how I can just like we were playing charades, right? And the guy that I was playing charades with, he's worth like 250 million. So it's an arrogant person. And they barely started. And then I remember just belting out because my intuition said ukulele,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Um, and everybody's like, like no one in the room. And I don't, there's situations like that that keep popping up where I'm just like, oh, it's this. And then people are like, they don't, because they can't at all see it. They can't connect the dots at all, like zero. Like there's nothing to connect the dots with. They get furious that I would have some sort of knowledge that they can't comprehend. So when I'm like with a mathematician or some sort of scientist that's got a high IQ and he's figured something out, I don't get angry. I don't get angry at the people because they're doing some magical stuff. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. How can we leverage that? What is it you're trying to do? Why don't we work together on something? I like dive in. I never get like that. I never turn into hate. And so many people are like that. They want to pull you down. They want to get in the way. And it's really, really annoying. So I'm telling you, to that question you asked me, like, how did I know? Because that's a perfect example. You knew I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, and
And
you're still learning the actual craft of it, but like that you got the big picture of it without the details is pretty cool.
yeah, well, not just that part, but listen to this. Then the other half of the question was, why is it that I'm grabbing onto it and just running with it when there's so many things to do in this world? Well, when you actually realize what's happening with AI and robotics and machine learning and everything that's going on in science, and like, if you know what's going on, there's going to be a lot of massive job loss, right? So all these people that are still going to school, oblivious for these jobs that are going to be literally replaced in 2 years. I'm like some of these college students I'm dealing with. I'm like, wait a second. I see what you're saying. I just had a conversation actually yesterday. I'm like, hold on a second. If you really understand what's going on with the world, don't you understand that your job is going to be replaced? So I would say that you focus on machine learning and then so do data science, but with an angle of machine learning, and then you've got a future that's going to coincide with you actually having a job and not being replaced. And then after I told her that 3 or 4 times, she totally freaking got it. And then when she Ubered over to my place, she said that the Uber person was talking about the same thing about AI, machine learning, how the whole world's going to be changing and everything. And she's like, Michael, I don't know how you knew that, but it makes so much sense to me now that I'm actually going to be changing my direction in my career and what I'm doing now. But at first it was like, I had to get past her yelling and getting angry at me because like, how are you so arrogant? You think you know, and you're not even in college right now. And I deal with that all the time. I go, look, I just get a message and I just want to give you the information. And then you just do what you want with it. Don't fight it until I feel that you actually heard me and you understand it. Then I feel like I did my job. But me, which is maybe why it was given to me, not somebody else who's passive, is I'll deal with the anger and the outbursts and like in the reputation bashing, and I still go because I have like this. I feel like I'm supposed to do this. Like I've like, I mean, it's like a I forgot. I don't lost the words right now for what you call that, but like I'm on a mission. I don't just give up.
We're on a
But
mission,
anyway,
but we gotta like start again tomorrow or something, right? Are you night owl? I gotta.
well, I say this: we've got a lot of good stuff right now. You asked me a really good question. I broke it down that yes, that I just picked up on this somehow, but it also has to do with I was already looking for entrepreneurial opportunities, and AI is going to be destroying a lot of things or replacing a lot of things. And what I feel like, or what I realize in the future that we're getting into, what's really most important is that people get to know someone that's real, an actual human. Okay, so that's one. And by just having a YouTube channel, that or a podcast, that brings us there because it's about us and us communicating whatever it is we want to communicate. But this is what's great. Therapy, especially in a new world that we're getting into, is highly important because most people are not going to be interacting with other people. Most people are going to be reclusive, right? When you don't have to go to work or you have to go anywhere, everybody's remote, right? Which is way more efficient. There's like massive, like it's like 40% vacancy in commercial real estate. We have remote work that's happening now, and less than 50% of men are actually having sex. Like the world is changing, right? And the world that we're getting into, I think that it'll be a state sponsored that everybody has therapy. Okay. But until then, there's a lot of people that can't afford it. And circling, which is free, which then falls into the AA and how AA proliferated, even people like try to fight it.
Right.
And I see that this would fall into the same type of growth would be identical to that of AA, where people who are in the same way that Jordan Peterson was, they're trying to kick him out of psychology because he's like, they're, he's getting too like popular, and he's saying things that the psychologist, that whatever the organization doesn't like, because he's just such free spirit. Similar, we're going to have therapists and psychologists. They're not going to like this, but like, oh, it's not sanctioned. It could be dangerous. Who are these people helping with these feelings? And they don't, they're not doctors. It could be really harming people. I can see negative press coming because people are just like that. But I'm ready to battle all through that, because if we just, and that's why I bring up the AA again, if we focus onto how that was created, and it's organic, and it actually serves a purpose, and it grows because it actually helps people, we just focus on that and nothing can get in our way.
Yeah.
So I'm able to tie all of these skills together, production, filming, editing, sound, marketing, therapy, consciousness, awareness, being present, all this reading about psychology I do. Like, I literally, more than anything, I love psychology. So now we get to put all of it together and actually do a good thing. And then we start doing like circles, and we sit there, we give people energy, because more than anything, they need energy. This is a good thing. I think this is a very good use of all my skill and my power and my energy. And that's why I jumped onto this, and I see that you were ready. And if I just push you, which I did, I'm like, good, just do this, do that, and then you started doing it. And then I knew that we had something, and now here we are.
Yeah, I love it. Are you a night owl? Are you gonna stay up?
Oh, no. I'm going to be turning everything off right now, because this is the other thing I've learned, that if I don't get into bed before 11, actually, when I've been on the call with you, my alarm went off at 9:45. At 9:45, I start to like,
Yeah,
kind of
I'm in
shut
a little
everything.
bit of trouble. I think that's good. Maybe we should in the future do some 9:45 out.
Well, my alarm goes off at 9:45 to start winding everything down.
Yeah.
So like, I'll finish up whatever I'm working on, turn off the computer, turn off the lights, and then I'll read in bed.
Yeah, I get interested in, I should probably make sure I just have, I don't know. It gets to be into like date night vibe with, maybe I should be done by 10 in the future.
Yeah, just set your alarm for 10 and make sure that you're in bed by 10:30.
Yeah, I just mean, I have a partner. I don't want him to be like jealous. And
Well, what time what time does he go to bed?
I can see through, he's like lights out. Oh,
Oh, perfect. What time does he go to bed?
he goes to bed. We both go to bed usually around now.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
All right.
he might have pouty when, like, we usually watch a show, and then I usually do all this at night. Like, my last circle usually ends at 8:30, so this is new. It's fine. I just want to say, like, I can't really make a routine of.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we should finish all our filming and stuff like that by 9.
Okay. Yeah.
At the latest. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
And
Because then I can
mornings
say to my boyfriend, like, oh, this was a one-time thing. I'll be done by 9 most nights.
perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good with me. And actually, if anything, I think.
He's a little jealous,
I know. If anything, doing it in the morning.
Yeah.
Would be
The
really
light,
good.
I love the natural light. I can see better. I can read my
Yeah.
notes. Like, I have to put my glasses on to read notes. I think in the daytime I can read my notes and not wear my glasses. But whatever, if I put my glasses on, I'll put my I mean, it's all fine. But we made it work. We can do nights. It's so cool that we have daylight now till 7. But when we started, we didn't. So you were meeting at like 4:30, and by 5 it was dark. In the beginning, I was like, I don't like my lighting, but I don't know. Just zoned out thinking about stupid shit.
Okay. Well, that'll be it for today. And I guess we did finish up my little guinea pig circle, and then we talked about everything and how it started. And that's a good question. Good question you asked me.
And tomorrow we can figure it out. We can each take, like, if you want to take this one and play with it, and I'll take another one and play with it, and we both, like, we can try to do it. I don't know, whatever feels fair to you, but we can both try to like put in equal time to edit and upload, like, or whatever you think's most efficient.
Okay. Well, why don't we start up our Zoom tomorrow with that?
Okay.
With our little action items.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll get some video action items, and then by the end of the day, let's upload stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Okay. Good. I like it, because we can actually even do in the morning, have a Zoom, say what we're going to actually work on, and then Zoom after we get it done.
I'm free after 9:30 a.m. circling. I have a circle 8:30 to 9:30.
Oh, okay. 9:30. Okay.
All day.
I don't know what time I'm gonna wake up. Then I'm gonna go to the gym first.
No rush, whatever.
Yeah, all right, then we'll just touch
It's
base. We'll just
raining.
communicate. We'll line something up in the morning.
And I usually go for a walk at some point. I was like, but I have a pretty good plan. But Friday I'm driving up to Hollywood to work on a TV show. So I can't Zoom Friday unless my hours.
One day,
Yeah.
one day thing. Okay. All right, cool. We'll touch base tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's do tomorrow because I have all day tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome. And then the weekend if you want. But okay. Talk to you
All right.
tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. I'm gonna end the meeting.